Alright, so I think you're going to get a kick out of this. So all I have here is a chain that I hooked up with a bungee, and I don't want to make it sound like I invented this. The internet told me about it, but it's pretty slick, and you might be able to put it to some use this fall. Where are my gloves? So anyway, I got this big old Wilton splitting maul. It cost me an arm and a leg. It was over $100. But I've already broke 3 of them this year, so I figured I better get one that's a little harder to break. So all I did was I wrapped this chain with a little chunk of bungee on it around this big old log, and it isn't anything fancy. It's not a clear piece. It's got a couple little knots, but it's nothing heinous. Anyway, I'm going to show you how I break it up and how I get a whole bunch of little kindling out of it. So I start out just like you would on any other project, just working the outside ring, but I don't have to pick up all the pieces over and over again, and I also don't have to break all the way through. I just have to loosen it up, and you're going to see why here in a second. Alright, outer ring done. Now I'll do the inner ring. These big ones are a little bit harder. Obviously, you know, there's more places for the wood to go. But I thought it'd be better to show you kind of a worst case scenario than go through and show you what it's like when it's as easy as it can be. Heartwood's still a bear. Nothing you can do about that. But then when you're done, like because of the way this splitting maul is, I don't worry about running a handle into it or anything like that. And you just get all these really little pieces, which are almost suitable for kindling. So this way, I think, is just way bigger, way easier than using a hydraulic splitter. Now I huff and puff a little bit, but at least I'm not lifting all these heavy rounds up 1,000 times a day onto that splitter only to get little chunks broken off. Like this basically results in all the little stuff you want, and with a heavy one like this, like you can just go, I mean, you can knock it down to the size of a pencil if you wanted. And then when you're done, take off your chain. Now normally, I'll show you my wood pile here in a second. Normally I'd carry it all over there so I don't have all these little parts, but I don't have a cameraman, so I'm just going to show you by dropping it on the ground. Like, that's pretty handy, right? And like these parts are really broken up, and I could get back with them with an axe if I wanted, but for the most part, I mean, they're little enough where I can just use my hands. So I thought it'd be a cool trick. Maybe you guys can use it when you're laying in your wood for the fall.